Hey everybody, welcome to Hard4Games. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
I'm Anna.
And what are we doing today?
Well, today we're taking a look at Contra III on the Super Nintendo.
We're kind of reviewing it today, right?
Yeah, we'll start that way. If it goes like every other Contra game, it'll end up with us sobbing into beers or something, but the idea remains, we're going to take a look at this one.
This ain't your grandpa's Contra, son.
Oh no, did you all see that demon face?
The
Alien Wars begin! Exclamation point.
It's
time for revenge. Let's attack aggressively. You know, I can't help but wonder what Japanese expression that was surely more menacing than that translated to that.
That was some super lazy translating there.
That's
Somebody did that at 4:30 on Friday.
And it was an intern.
These are some muscular men. I trust them with my safety.
Is there Konami code in this game or no?
Please tell me there is.
So, for those of you that had been living under a rock or have never heard of Contra, let's explain some of the very basics of it. Obviously, we talked about the story. The aliens are coming in. They're going to kill everybody. Everything explodes, blah, blah, blah. But as a game, it's a run and gun, and a great run and gun at that.
It's exceptionally fast-paced. I mean, this one really puts the running in run and gun.
Oh no, the laser. Oh, the laser's not too bad in this
You can
game.
only switch weapons till you get two.
Oh my god, how do you even have time to switch weapons or even think about that?
Very carefully. Also, I just assume everyone that plays Contra for fun does a large amount of meth. But these random power-ups you get out throughout the game, you know, the standard shmup fare, except that, unlike a lot of shmups, they actually really do, like, meaningfully change the way you can play. I get all the guys in, like, the armor being bad guys, but what is the dog doing here?
Well, and the dog doesn't even look like a dog. It looks like a demon when it looks at you, like a gargoyle monster.
Yeah, it's not a good dog.
He likes to eat out of the garbage like a dog.
Yeah. You're gonna die all the time, and there's just no way around
Are you
that.
trying to tell me that this game is like Contra?
Weird, right? It's a game that's simply challenging because the creators wanted a challenging game.
Yes.
It's not challenging like our 16-bit Spider-Man reviews where you can't see half the level, or the controls have this inexplicable inertia and momentum to them. It's well constructed.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it wanted to be.
Now, speaking of being challenging because that's what they intended and the controls are amazing, let's talk about level 2. So, for example, I love games that have different gameplay styles. You know, you're playing a platformer and then suddenly you're in like a little shooter segment and it kind of adds some variety and whatever. For such a Twitch-based game, it feels like the variety should be like it was in the first level, like you're in a vehicle. In the Contra games on the NES, Contra and Super C, there were top-down, like vertical levels. So there were some variations of this, to be sure. But you got to keep in mind that Contra, when you think of it in another sense, it plays like a horizontal shmup. Switching to a vertical makes it play like a vertical shmup. Right? So you still get sort of that twitchy sort of feel. You still get the run and gun. You just don't get the platforming. Right? It just feels like a different style of arcade shoot 'em up. With this, it's too different. Right?
Yeah.
So this is like, oh, it still needs to be somewhat Twitch-based, but let's make the controls awful. Just for a level here.
Well, let's make the controls awful, and let's make the character centering awful.
Yes.
Because reliably, you outrun the camera.
Oh, yes.
So, case in point, as I move along here, I'm pressed right up against the edge of the screen.
Oh, yeah.
So, things like that giant centipede, which, of course, looks like every other alien we've seen so far, because that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But it just appears from, like, that guy. I really didn't have a good way of knowing he was there.
I do hate the fact that you have to like circle by pressing L and R, and it just takes. Look at this. I mean, it doesn't seem like a long time, but when you
have to respond to something,
yeah,
it's
a pain in the ass.
It's clear what they were trying for. It's just that the execution fell a little flat.
Oh,
Let me just do the victory twirl. I mean, that's like the major redeeming grace of this level format is that my character can
do a victory twirl.
Yeah, I mean, without the victory twirl, this would be a total loss. Hi, Louie.
Now they're posing for you.
Yeah, see, there's always a bit of
crotch. Look at my ass. Let's showcase a level that actually does gameplay variety right.
Oh, that's right. You thought only Battletoads had turbo tunnels?
Oh my god, that's fast!
This level is ADHD the game, and much like every other motorcycle tunnel-based game level that we've ever played, it's harder than holy hell.
Oh, yeah.
Everything happens too fast. Yes.
It's insane. It's way too difficult, but this is the type that I like because it feels like the game.
There's no mistaking that you're still playing Contra.
I like how this game is basically saying, oh, you got to this level? Well,
Don't worry, we'll kill you yet.
yeah, exactly, right? Like, there's no way we'd be able to do this without codes. I mean, there's not a prayer. Like, I wouldn't be able. I mean, it's also the first time I'm playing this game.
I've
also
owned
like
this game for 4 years, and I've gotten to this level 3 or 4 times without just getting so irritated with it that I put in a code.
Have you ever gotten past this level by yourself?
Yes, once.
Okay, so one time in about 4 years. If you were to like take an image and be like, you know, like what is the 90s? This is like verbatim.
I mean,
what it would be.
Kurt Cobain drinking a Zima in a cardigan is not quite as 90s as what's happening right here.
Yeah, exactly.
And apparently the aliens that have a flying saucer that blew up the planet are using B-52s.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about it. They're just in it for the retro fun.
What they're doing with this level is they're telling you this is on the Super Nintendo. They were pulling out every trick in the book. They have this flickering fire that's like a sort of a high frame rate flicker. They have sort of like a mode 7 sort of thing with the plane going on. I don't know exactly if it's mode 7, but it's similar. You know, perspective shift sort of thing. Destructible environments, like tons of crap going on screen at the same time. Like, this is 16-bit. They are screaming in your face that it's 16-bit. It looks and feels great. Really, the presentation is very hardcore, not to be confused with Contra hardcore for the Genesis.
No, that's an entirely other matter.
Indeed.
Oh.
This poor thing. And apparently it explodes.
Yeah.
I don't know what this species is or what this planet full of explosive species is, but it's a very volatile planet.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way around that.
This is an example of basically mode 7. Sort of they want to take advantage of like the perspective of, you know, you're on this like highway and you can kind of see the ground much further below, that kind of thing.
Can we talk about the avatar from this angle and how wide the shoulders are with a tiny head in the middle?
Yeah, he's apparently like 5.5 feet tall and like 5.5 feet wide. This boss fight in particular shows off what's wrong with this style of play, because the boss takes up such a large portion of the screen that you don't have a lot of room to move. It's kind of clunky.
What they're doing here is they're like, hey, by the way, on the Super Nintendo, we can have giant sprites. Giant sprites.
Giant sprites, everyone.
and then you're like, oh.
Great. Oh. Giant sprites.
You know, especially looking at this, because we're, you know, recording this footage and playing it RGB out, which is the highest quality analog signal you can get. We're doing RGB out and then to HDMI into an HD TV. And the colors pop. Like,
absolutely.
It's just like so damn good. I mean, the background is literally just like a smog-filled factory, and we're like, wow, that's a really nice smog-filled factory.
Yeah. Basically, we're marveling in the beauty of Gary, Indiana.
You said Gary, Indiana. I was going to say Lincoln Park, Michigan.
Well.
Yeah.
These things happen, everyone.
Well, when you're going south
sorry.
to Detroit on 75, I mean, you get into that area where it's like, wow, this whole place smells like sulfur.
Yeah, but they painted it like a Detroit Pistons basketball.
They did.
They did, and that makes everything better.
Makes everything better.
As we all know, sports solve pollution.
That's right. Global warming doesn't exist, guys.
Don't worry about it. No. If there's one thing this factory is teaching us, it's that global warming isn't going to end the Earth. Relax, everyone.
Yeah.
Aliens will.
Just aliens.
See? Al Gore can't do anything right.
We're like leaving the enemy fortress before it blows up.
Quickly,
classic.
Before a fiery explosion chases someone down a hallway.
You're getting better, but this alien war only gets harder. So if you want to fully test your gameplay techniques, prepare yourself for the ultimate challenge.
Uh-oh. Does it just reset to harder It just starts you over on a harder difficulty?
Yep, because I think we were playing normal mode.
That was normal.
That was normal
Yep.
mode. So the insane, intense, crazy bullshit that we just experienced
was the standard
normal,
difficulty.
standard difficulty, not hard difficulty.
Yeah, we just beat it training wheel style.
Contra 3, the Alien Wars, where does this land for us?
This is a spectacular game. It's absolutely beautiful to look at. The sound is great. The gameplay is rock solid. The controls are brilliant. It's an absolutely wonderful game, albeit an incredibly challenging one, with the notable exception of those top-down levels.
I understand why they did it at the time, but retrospectively, it was definitely a flawed decision. And I definitely think, I mean, even despite that, I had a ton of fun with this game. Even we had we were using cheat codes to be able to get this far, but even using cheat codes, it was a ton of fun.
It's a hysterically fun game.
Oh, yeah.
It's the sort of game that does so many things so incredibly well that you just want to pick it up and play it every so often.
Damn near a masterpiece, honestly. Let's go ahead and give hard mode a try.
No cheat codes.
No cheat codes.
Flying in blind. Wish us luck.
Oh god!
This is so hard. Why? Why would a loving God allow this?
Thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like and a share, and we will see you guys next time.